Hello and welcome to computer class. My name is Dave, and today we're talking about the format bar for docs part 2. We did part 1 last week, and we're going to talk about format, tools, add-ons, and help today. So let's get right into it. So click the format tab when you are spawned into docs, and you have text formatting options. You got bold, italic, underline, strike through, superscript, subscript, the size of the text, capitalization for lowercase, uppercase, and title case. Title case is like, um, yeah, let's actually format it like that. There we go. So notice it highlights the first letter of every single word. And then paragraph styles, we've got borders and shading. If you click that, you could put borders and different things around your text. Again, you have to have something selected to use all of these. And then back to paragraph styles, you could do heading 1. See, it creates there's a preset size for these headings. Some of them are really big, some of them are pretty small. If you utilize the paragraph styles, there's other options here. You could save, like if you did bold and underline for a specific piece of text and you've got it a certain color or something, and you want to save it as a default style, you can save it here as a default style and add to this list. So that's pretty helpful. Align, you've got left, center, right, justify. Justify just kind of makes the text fit. Increase the indent, decrease the indent, change the indent options are right there. Also, you can do line spacing for some of you that write a double-spaced paper. This is how you do it. You can add space before paragraphs and after paragraphs if you need to. You can set up custom spacing to whatever you might need it to do, which is also helpful for papers and stuff. Back to line spacing. You can keep with next, keep lines together, do different settings there. Also columns, which is the next one down. You can do 2 columns by clicking this. Now notice there's a wide gutter. So if I hit Control Z and go back for a second and hit more options, I can change this down to probably what you normally would see was 0.3 and even put a line between it if I want to. And it didn't do it. Alright, so the reason it didn't do it is because I only selected 1, but if you select 2 this time, put the spacing to 0.3, put a line between it, there we go. So that could be helpful knowing how to change your columns and format them. I'm going to hit Control Z and go back for a second. Then we have bullet points, so you can add things to a list like that. And then if you go to the next one, number 2, number 3, tab in. If you hit tab, it moves you in 1 for a bullet point list. Type there. Again, it's always recommended you have an A and a B in a list. And then you could tab in again. And you literally can keep doing that if you want to. And you can also decrease the indent and move backwards in the list if you want to. So that's how you would do that. Okay, so there's a list. You can headers and footers, you can change the size of the headers and footers for this section. Sometimes you have 2 sections like I talked about in my last tutorial, but so you could change based on the section actually. You could either do it to the whole document or just this section. But again, that's how you change the header and footer sizing. Then you have page numbers. You could again start at 1, continue with previous, different options there for the page number, which is super helpful when doing papers. Again, moving down to table, I have a table down. Oops, maybe it's up. There it is. I have a table right here. And if I click in the table, that's when these options become available. So notice I can add a column. I can add a row. Insert a row below. There we go. So if I wanted to, I can delete a row. Delete row. I can also merge cells here. So if I highlight 4 cells, hit Format Table, and then I can merge the cells. And then I could kind of center this if I want to. So you can use combinations of things. write some text there. Or, better yet, we can look at the table properties, look at the color of different things. The table border could be changed, the column width, minimum height. You can, change a whole bunch of different things about your table right there in the Format tab. Again, Format tab formats things that you've inserted, which is what the Insert tab's for. All right, so then we have, if you highlight some text that you might have formatted in bold, you can clear the formatting. Okay, so that's what that's for. If I scroll down to Guardian Bravo, my picture, you've got some options here. I can wrap the text. I can break the text. This is, again, if this is inserted into text. I'm just dragging it up and inserting it into text. So it's in the middle of a paragraph. I could choose to have it kind of, I could choose to have it kind of break the text and be in between it or whatever I choose to do. Okay, so now it's in between the text. There's different options when I click it. I can give it a margin, and I can have fixed position, different options when I click the thing. But also, up here, everything changes. And in the Format tab, Image allows me to crop the image, replace the image. There's some image options. Again, all the stuff that's right here at the top is up there. Okay? So that's what options is. Then we have some tools associated with docs. We have spelling and grammar. You have spell check. And then the word count, which if you're trying to write a paper that's a specific amount of words, this could be helpful. You can display the word count while typing. If I press OK, there it is. It's down there at the bottom. That's so helpful to know. I kind of like to leave that turned on, but it's always defaultly off for some reason. You can review suggested edits from other people, what they've suggested, or you can compare documents. Maybe you save this one as a copy. You can explore, which is basically being able to search the web. So Pacific Rim. If I search for that, I should get some images or information that I can bring into my document. So that's helpful. And then some other tools are linked objects. You can link objects in a dictionary. You can search for the definition of a word. Cool. There we go. Copy that definition, drop it right into your document. You can translate the document as any language you want to. You can start voice typing, which is so cool. So you can bring this up if you have a mic and you hit click. Let me just make sure I have a new line here. Okay, so this is point number 4. And I click to speak, and it is now interpreting my voice and making it into a sentence. You could literally just speak your entire paper. Go figure. It's really funny to watch it write in real time. Anyway, I'm going to stop that by clicking on this and closing it. That could be so helpful for writing some sort of a discussion question or essay or whatever. Again, I don't think the punctuation and things, or it's done correctly, you might have to play with it and reword your sentence afterwards. But hey, it's something to be used. Script editor, that's for coding, not really necessary. Preferences, you can turn things on or off that you want there. Substitutions, it tells you what it substitutes everything for, which is helpful to know that if you do 2 brackets and a C in the middle, you get the copyright symbol. So there's a lot of these that you could go through and learn from on how to get those symbols. There's accessibility settings for those with problems with their eyesight and different things. There's some add-ons, so hit Get Add-ons. And there's one that I really like. It's called EasyBib right here. It's a bibliography, a one-click bibliography tool. So just kind of add that. Click Install, Continue, and then choose your account and allow. That's a super helpful one to have, and hit Done. Now it's in Add-ons. And then another one I like is Extensis Fonts. That's a really helpful one too. So just go ahead and add that one as well. Continue. And again, go through the same click-through process. Allow. All right. Okay, so anyway, now if you click the add-on dropdown, you have both of these, and you can have more fonts. So I'm going to hit start. So now I can highlight this text and I can change it to one of these cool fonts that I downloaded. Bam. Look at that. Extensis Fonts is helping me out. Or if I close this and hit the add-ons again, EasyBib, manage bibliography, what I could do is type the name of a book in here. So for instance, the one thing, let's see if it finds it. I don't know if it's going to find it. It doesn't always find everything. By Gary Keller. There it is right there. Except it's in another language, Dutch, for some reason. Whatever. For the sake of the illustration, this is the book. If I select this, and it adds it to my bibliography list. So as I'm working through my sources and writing my paper, I could just keep adding stuff to my bibliography, make sure it's selected on book or journal article or website or whatever, and it creates the sources. And then when I get done, let me go down the end here, I could just add this in one click to the bibliography and press bam, and I'm done. And there is my bibliography right there, added on. Okay, so that's kind of helpful. You also manage the add-ons and delete which ones you don't want. If you find that one that's just simply not helpful, get rid of it right there. Lastly, we have help. If you hit Google Docs help, there is a huge database of articles that Docs has associated with it. A lot of times people Google the answer when they could just search for, how to do it here. And there's usually a tutorial in the help. There's also training, and it brings up like their documentation and more of a bigger thing. You can describe your issue and search for it. And then you can report a problem, report abusive copyright, and look at their terms of service. This is the most helpful one though. Keyboard shortcuts, like all of them are here. So cool, right? You can look through, how to edit. It's even got a little navigation, how to navigate. So if you need to chat, Shift Escape. Bam, there you go. Now you know it. And you'll never need to know it again, probably. But anyway, so that was kind of the add-ons and the rest of the Google Docs format bar. Hopefully this lesson was helpful and you learned something. I'm sure there's a ton more you could play around with in Docs, but you go do that and figure it out. And I will see you in the next video.